Now we're going to go take a look at a different Robin aircraft. This is a DR400 Cadet. This is another really, really unique plane because even though it was developed in the late 70s, it's still well in use today. This is a solid competitor against the Cessna, and it also has a very unique wing shape, which you can see it's kind of this like cranked arrow kind of a thing going on. Let's go ahead and plop inside real quick and take a look around the instrumentation. Again, notice this is a French plane. We have nuit, jour, and test, as well as all this kind of classical instrumentation. Go ahead and take a look in the back seat real quick, see if there's anything good. Not a lot. Again, this is a two-seater plane, but it is a very, very high-performance two-seater plane. So I'm going to go get myself nice and comfortable here. Oh, I love that old-school instrumentation. Good old regular stick. I think we're ready to go. No GPS on this thing anywhere to be seen, so we're going to have to do things the old-fashioned way. Go ahead and kill out the brakes. Give it full power. And off we go. Caught in that front wheel just a tiny bit there. Nice. Let's get going. First thing I notice is we get going pretty quick with this thing. We've got knots and we have kilometers an hour. We'll go ahead and give it a nice little tug here. It takes quite a bit of right foot to keep this thing nice and level. Ooh, nice and heavy controls. This would definitely not be a beginning training plane. This would be something that you want to use a little bit later into your flight training. But imagine if you're doing any instrument work, you'd really appreciate everything, except for the fact we only have, what is that, a single CDI? Oy. Frame rates are really, really good on this one, which makes me suspect that for those of you who are interested in things, this might be a pretty good darn choice here. Got our fuel pressure, everything's looking good there. I'll go ahead and adjust my RPM. We do not have manual RPM because this is a fixed pitch propeller. All right, so we just took off from LYBE. We are in Belgrade. This is a Tesla International Airport. We are just in the middle of Syria here. This is very close to Belgrade. I wanted to see a little bit different, a little environment here. This would not be unusual to see an aircraft like this operating in a place like it. Oh, you actually have to work the rudder with this thing. Oh, that's nice. Old school handling, what I'm used to. All right, taking a look around real quickly, you can see that we've got all sorts of old style buildings here. Again, if you want a really, really interesting story, look into some of the history and some of the local legends as far as this area goes. You want to go back to the Austria-Hungary, Empire and everything along those lines. As far as this aircraft goes, the only thing I really know about it is, like I said, it's a Lycoming 360. Got about an 800 nautical mile range on it, which is not too shabby at the least. Again, because it's a relatively limited cruise speed, it's going to be an awfully long time at that particular speed there. Got my oil temperature's getting a little low. I'm going to go ahead and reduce power just a teeny tiny bit. All right, let's go ahead and put it through its paces real quick. First thing we'll do is a good old-fashioned approach stall. I'm going to reduce power here. Give myself a little bit of flaps. Ooh, it's nice and heavy controls. Oh, I like that. Gives you the good old-fashioned beep, beep, beep. And is it going to drop a wing? Nope, the whole nose is just going to drop on us. We want to try to avoid flying to the side of this old farm here. Let's go ahead and try it the other way. We'll do our good old-fashioned departure stall here. Whoa, here we go. A little slow to do that. Nope, I'm not going to get out of it. Not going to get out of it. Well, I guess I won't have to redo this video. That was close. Yeah, this is definitely a heavy plane, and it feels it, and it's really, really good because of that extra weight. I actually think that's a very positive thing for those of you guys who are looking for something different than a Cessna 172 for your flight training purposes. Definitely going to experiment with this one. Take a look around real quick at some of our little settings here. I love that 1970s panel, that kind of fake-looking vinyl plasticky goodness there. Go ahead and push our rudder pedals just a tiny bit. Kind of give them a quick little wiggle. See what's going on with that. Looks good. Let's see here. We have a safety feature. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. All right, next thing I want to try out actually real quick while I'm experimenting with this plane. I'm going to reduce my throttle a little bit. I'm going to try to see how easy this thing is to keep nice and level with trim. It's usually the first thing I end up binding whenever you get a new airplane is you have to find the control for trim and then make sure it's set correctly. Just a little bit more. Ooh, look at the city of Belgrade. Nice. Who shall we visit while we're here? Swing back around this way. Ooh, very, very nice. Smooth, easy to handle. Yeah, this is definitely a good aircraft if you're trying to learn how to fly. Nice weight to it. I really want to stick it on the ground somewhere, but I got to look around and find something to actually stick it on the ground too. Right, that's looking pretty good there. I'm going to go ahead and bring us around really, really gently. That looks pretty solid. I believe that's where a bunch of railroad cars went through at one point. It's probably not too bad of a spot, but I'm actually going to go ahead and pick the highway here instead. Nose up. I'm in the white arc, so I'm going to go ahead and deploy my flaps. Voilette sortie. My French is garbage, so excuse my horrible pronunciation right there. All right, bring myself down nice and gently here. Again, this would be an emergency landing. Pretty impressed with this aircraft. I like the weight. Like this one and the 172 are probably going to get a lot of use because of that extra weight in its handling. I'm sure the locals do not appreciate me landing on their major highways like this, but they'll forgive me someday, I'm sure. Gonna give it just a little bit of power. That's a stall warning. It's a bad thing to be getting when you're 6 inches off the ground. And we're here. Oh, excuse me, sir. I didn't mean to cut you off. Bonk, bonk, bonk. And we are here. Not bad. Definitely worth checking out. Again, this was the DR400 Cadet, and we're here in Belgrade, Serbia.